Good morning. Kelly O'Connell, author and attorney with Knockout Podcasts. And November 3rd, and what a day, what a day. We just saw Terry McAuliffe, who was the bag man for Bill Clinton, his money man, his fundraiser, lose to Glenn Youngkin in Virginia. And it was just amazing. And there's just a few little lessons, I think, from this. One of which is stay true to your roots, what you believe in. The second one is don't be afraid to stand up to bullies. And there was a lot of bullying that has been going on in this country to Republicans for the last few years. And Trump didn't take it, but it seems like everybody else did. And the third thing is to be positive, because Youngkin, which I was thinking his name could be for a rapper, Youngkin, you know what I'm saying? But Youngkin was very positive. He didn't get down in the gutter, but he was not afraid to go after the race issues. And McAuliffe seemed increasingly desperate, and it's when there is pressure. It's like a quarterback. The test of a quarterback is when pressure is put on them. And anybody with a good arm can sling the ball downfield when their linemen are totally protecting them. But when there's pressure that's coming, that's when the real abilities are being tested. And just got a call from my friend Olivia, and I told her what I was doing on the podcast, and she said, don't forget to throw in all of the people who came to help McAuliffe. And I think it's a disaster for Joe Biden to do anything for McAuliffe, because it just reminds people of failure, of bad ideas, of bad attitudes, of snarling, and leaving Americans behind, and needing a high school yearbook styled sheets to know who the reporters are, and then they're handpicked and their questions are pre-formatted, and Biden's got the questions ahead of time. So it's just unbelievable. So then McAuliffe refuses to concede last night, even though at one point he was down by 10 points. And in the end, it was real close. And I was up probably, 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10, watching as the numbers went down. And it looked like it was going to be a Trump-styled loss like in Michigan or Pennsylvania, where he's ahead going to bed and then wakes up and he's lost. And so what happened is the numbers, he was up by 12 at one point, 12%, and he was up by 230,000 votes for a while. And then the numbers went down and down and down. And at one point he was up by I think it was probably 1.7%, and I was getting nervous. And then he started to creep up again and creep up and creep up, and at the end he was almost, I think, around 3% victory. And so there's no chance to go out and find 100,000 votes, right? I mean, unless you're very creative. And so I feel amazed, because it felt like the country was falling apart. It was going down in pieces, and we just had to stand there and watch as these idiots insulted us and told us, gave us lectures and everything. And it's just an awful feeling to be living in your country and feel like everything that everybody worked hard for is going down the toilet in terms of inflation, which is totally, as you probably realize, creation is inflated. It's not a naturally occurring event. And it's created by government spending. Now, I don't want to get into all the other issues which could cause inflation in theory, but that is, for the modern person, what we need to think about. And, just this idea that we're good partners, we're good friends to people, that we keep our promises, and then Joe Biden leaves Afghanistan, and there's still thousands of Americans there who are probably getting raped and beat up and murdered, and we don't even hear about it because this mainstream media doesn't care about them. But to have to beg for oil from other countries when a year ago we were energy independent, and the border, over 3 million people have come in this year, and we just have to stop and watch, because when the liberals decide to do something, you just have to stand up and applaud. Wonderful. Because it doesn't matter if they're breaking the law or the Constitution. But I think what you're going to find is this is a sea change. It's a bellwether. It is a epic event. It's like a cataclysmic event that has just scared the poop out of the Democrats. And so what are they going to be able to do? They're not going to be able to do anything, because they're trapped. They're trapped in their ideas. They're trapped in Joe Biden, the great man. They're trapped in, we're going to do all these liberal policies. And what has happened, and I think somebody else had mentioned this, maybe it was Newt Gingrich, the Democrats have been fighting this Fabian-style battle. Fabianism is a British idea to do slow socialism till you beat everybody, and everybody has to become a socialist. They've been doing this for decades, for 100 years or more. And now they got so much power so quickly, they lost their pretenses and became exposed and just spoke openly. And that was just a freaking train wreck. As you heard Terry McAuliffe, who I've nicknamed Terry McAwful, getting up and saying, the parents don't decide what is in the curriculum. They don't have the expertise. So you have no say, even though they're your children, even though they're the God-given gift, you have no say in whether they are going to, you have nothing. Just shut up and sit down, and we'll teach your children that white people are racists and black people are victims, and there's going to be a race war. And we're going to teach your kids how awful America is and how stupid the founders were, et cetera, et cetera. And, you got to think about this. Did the founders make mistakes? Yes. Why? Because they're humans. And was one of their mistakes race, slavery? And the answer is yes. Not all of them, but some of the founders had slaves. And I was thinking about this. If you were going to apply this critically, this idea that your heroes, that your founders, that your people that give you the best ideas have to be perfect, we'd be back in a cave scraping horses on the wall. We would have never got anywhere. You can't wait for a perfect person to come along and save you, unless you're a Christian, and then all bets are off. But so in New Jersey, you've got Governor Phil Murphy, who is a very woke guy, who was with Goldman Sachs, and he made his $50 million. And then he decided to do what all these bimbos, all of these clowns do. I'm leaving so that I can enter politics and serve. And what's his idea of service? Talking down to people, bringing in stupid policies, destroying the economy, dragging socialism in, and basically treating people like they're too dumb to know better, and that the fact is that the government has to take over. So today, just doing a short message. Thank God that McAwful was stopped, and I believe that Governor Murphy's opponent is by the name Jack Ciattarelli. He's also ahead. They don't know who's going to win, but it's been a gut shot to the Democrats and the liberals. And, we just got to take thanks in that and be grateful for what we're given anyway. You have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Kelly O'Connell podcast, podcasting knockout radio, and give me a thumbs up. Give me subscribe. Thank you. God bless. Have a good day.